But how do I do? Oh, there it is. There.
Every time, brother.
I figured it out. I just have to trust myself.
Sure. This is Shady's podcast, season 5 of the podcast. We're going to sit and relax and tell you all sorts of stories. We're talking about life and a little sports. You know we're going to play some games. And if nothing else, you know we're going to have a laugh. 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 This is the podcast. This is the pod.
So we go a month and we do one podcast. Get a brand new international sponsor, betsafe.net.
Yes.
2 podcasts in 1 week. Unprecedented.
Yeah,
I love it.
Done in the history of rubber boots.
It's
For
a quick
sure.
turnaround, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, I'd say
Yeah.
so.
One podcast out Tuesday, the next one out Thursday. It's never know exactly when it's going to come out. So what we're doing, folks, this week, we're going to give you a bonus pod because this is what you're going to get used to with our brand new friends at betsafe.net that have come on board. Stoff said the other night, because Stoff's kind of a geniac, why don't we relaunch the brand? That's what the kids in the corporate marketing say.
Yeah.
Relaunch. We're rebranding.
Yeah.
So that means we all have to have a new look. I'm going to shave my head.
Nice.
Lester doesn't have the sexy mood lighting today. It's more corporate. He looks more corporate, Lester. Today he's got a filing drawer behind him.
It's daytime.
Puffy is going to look. Puffy can go back to Family Man. He's got the family photo behind him.
His family
sober.
with that. Yeah.
Beautiful.
You know what's funny is you had all those beers on Friday night, and yet I listened to that whole Rooney Mara thing again, and I actually was the one who sounded more drunk than you.
But there, like, I have to admit, like, the next day I was like, ooh, I don't really remember much from about half that podcast. So we'll see.
That was my next 3 days.
Yeah, that was one of them where I had to send the text to Stoff. I drove home after, and you get a little thinking time driving, and I send the text to Stoff. But you're gonna have to go through that one and maybe send it to me before you put it up, because I don't remember a lot was said. But Stoff did some very creative editing to save our asses once again.
Yes.
So this is the betsafe.net Rubber Boots podcast. Starring Puffy and a cast of others. Oh, I gotta tell you what just happened. So my son's been home, right? Jared. All my kids have been home. Darian's gone back to university. So Jared left his keys or can't find his car key. So and he left his other set back at Guelph. So he had his girlfriend finally go back. She had to go back for something else, and she got his keys. So his car has been sitting in the driveway for 3 weeks, and battery was dead, of course. So I call CAA today. I get the guy to come give us the boost, because I'm not doing that. I don't have the jumper cables.
Yeah, it's true.
And I wouldn't know. I used to do that. I was more of a man when I was like 20. I'd change my own tires. I'd have my jumper cables. I'd stop and give people boosts. Now I can't do that.
I tried to do a boost a couple months ago, and
And the positive negative thing still messes me up.
I just worry I'm going to kill myself. It's not worth it.
Zaps up.
So anyway, we opened the hood with the CAA guy, and it's like a horror scene. So some mice had made a nest in the engine.
Oh,
But they had taken somewhere. When we get into car talk, it's always fun. But somewhere in the engine,
the defibrillator.
there's somewhere around the defibrillator or the carbon monoxide aerator.
Yeah.
There is actually felt like a linen type thing, like a cloth material.
Yeah.
You know where that is, Stuff?
The band.
No, so this was actually part of the car, or the mice brought this in there?
No, it was in the car. I said, where the hell do you get this stuff from?
What kind of car is it?
It's it's Ford, McAlpine Ford, just minutes north of the 407. It's a Ford Escape. Anyway, it basically, imagine if you took like 5 white T-shirts and just cut them all up into a million pieces and threw them into your engine. That's what this looked like. Like, you could barely see the engine because it was just all this. So I guess he gathered it from somewhere down in the engine. There's this cloth material. Yeah. And then also there's like on the top front of the hood, there's like a protective layer, and he ate all that away. And it was just like just this massive, like he probably had about 1,000 babies in there.
He wrapped
it. Massive nest.
For those who don't know, male mice can have babies.
Oh, really?
No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
I'm guessing that's not the case.
I told you, like, woo.
The male mouse have a cloaca.
Cloaca, James. Cloaca. Don't be ignorant.
Yeah.
Don't be ignorant, yo.
Anyway, so
now
this was
I love to be ignorant.
The point is, I had to get Jared outside. Said, no, so big father-son learning experience, right? You know, they depend on your dad for all the automotive stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Jared, open the hood here. I got to show you something. The mice have taken the defibrillator and they've recarbureted it, and so now they made a mess. And so the CAA guy's standing there. I'm like, Jim, what are we going to do about this? He goes, well, you could try to blow it out with a leaf blower. So I went and got my leaf blower. We tried to blow it out, but it was too thick for that. So now we fired up the engine. Nothing smoked, thank goodness, except probably a family of mice.
Yeah. You'll have that on your
Gonzalez
hands.
is dead.
And so apparently we got to take it in just to get it blown out, right? But now when I go back to McAlpine Ford, just minutes north of the 407, they might not be happy because there's something's ripped, and I don't really understand it. I don't understand how you could have cloth material somewhere in an engine, but apparently down there is some.
It's possible that it could get the cloth from elsewhere. I've had this happen in my barbecue several times, and I don't have any cloth in there, but somehow it ends up in there in a mice.
That's what
mice. So.
Well, could he have run over something and it got sucked up into the engine? Like
a person?
That happen? What?
No, you know what it was, Jimmy? It was from one of the many times you were working on the car yourself, and you had one of those cloths, and you just left it in there by mistake.
Yes.
Yeah. When I was changing
classic move. Yeah.
Change the spark plugs. I get it.
So I went down all our Cobra Kai talk last week, Puffy.
Yeah.
Coincidentally enough, AMC on the weekend, it's a Karate Kid marathon.
Ooh.
And AMC is the best, by the way. Even though you've seen they have a repertoire of only about 30 movies. They just play them all the time and they get you, right? Like, they got me for Shawshank. The Leaf game ended last night. I flicked over, Shawshank, and I was in again.
You're not turning it.
No, you can't turn Shawshank. And Karate Kid, you can't turn away from. And I was trying to expose Darian, because she'd watched Cobra Kai but never watched the Karate Kid.
Okay.
So I said, sit down and watch the Karate Kid with me. A couple things. First of all, that is a perfect film. Almost every scene in that film is perfect. The Karate Kid is a perfect film.
It's amazing, yeah.
Karate Kid 2, which I watched, followed up, not quite as perfect. It's a little bit far-fetched.
Although that Peter Cetera song, Glory of Love, what a classic.
Like a knight shining over.
That just
from a long time ago.
Slow dancing mania.
So anyway, a couple things. First of all, I don't understand the scoring in the Karate Kid, in the karate tournament.
I do.
So you're allowed to kick to the head, obviously, right? Elizabeth Shue actually says...
Well, that's how he won the fight.
I know.
The first one, the cross kick was the face.
Everything above the waist, Lester, is legal. Sternum, head, kidneys, ribs. That's a direct quote from Elizabeth Shue. I wrote it down.
Nice.
Because she has the Karate Kid experience, the tournament experience, because she'd been there with Johnny, because she dated Johnny.
Yes.
But is in real karate, if you go to a kid's karate tournament, can they kick each other in the head?
In 1984 in the All Valley, you could. I don't know. I think they might have changed it, but
I would suggest to you that based on what's happening in our society, it's no longer allowed.
Okay. I don't know if it was ever allowed. That would be my thing. But secondly, in the final match, like, it's tied at 2, and Johnny knocks LaRussa down like a couple times. Why isn't it over? Why doesn't he finish him? Like,
wasn't one of them It was a
He knee
legal
whips
move.
him, but he's right there. He doesn't do anything. And they just say, no point.
It was an illegal move. And I think one of them, he rolled out of that circle, the dojo.
Could we get a karate referee from the 70s or 80s in to explain that to me? Because I watched the film again and I said, Johnny, you had him, you idiot. Like, finish, not finish him like Sensei said, but just win the damn match. Anyway.
Now, hold on one sec. When you were watching the film again, after now watching Cobra Kai, is it true that Daniel LaRusso really is the bully in the movie? With a new scent, like a new, now that what you know now, is it looking back, was LaRusso in the wrong? He did steal Johnny's girl.
Well, that's another point I want to get onto. And I think the only time he was really in the wrong was at the dance scene when Johnny was innocently rolling a joint in the bathroom and that he put the tap on because he was begging for it then. And I believe that was the actual scene that led to Miyagi jumping over the fence and whipping all those guys. Yeah. Johnny is more of a sympathetic figure in the last few minutes. You can tell he doesn't really want to take LaRusso out, right? Yeah. But you bring up an interesting point. Why in all the films, the girl is so nice. Elizabeth Shue, that's why, I fell in love with her. Sweet. Why did she date Johnny in the first place? And now we can go through a long basically every 80s film, and even films today. Mm-hmm. The perfect girlfriend, or in some cases, the perfect boyfriend, is dating the biggest in the world. And, okay, so in no particular order. Obviously, the Karate Kid. Why does she date Johnny when he's a total? Because is it the bad boy phenomenon, Lester? Is that what it is?
Well, look. I mean, I think it's all about a point of view, really, and this goes back to what you're saying about Danny versus Johnny in the first place. Look, from what we could see, we're seeing all the bad aspects of Johnny, but when she's alone with him in what we'll call a bubble, he's treating her great. She comes home after school. He rubs her feet. You know what I mean?
Maybe we should have seen that.
Well, we don't, right? So
maybe there should be a film where we see the other side of Bad Boys. So I made a list. Old school, more recent movie. Yeah. But Ellen Pompeo. That's right. Yeah. By the way, she's not related to Mike Pompeo, the Trump's Secretary of Defense or whatever, right? I don't want to get into another Rooney Mara discussion here.
I don't know.
We don't have the time.
Yeah, I do not know.
I really hope that Ellen Pompeo is not related to that doofus. But Craig Kilborn, so she plays Nicole in Old School. Craig Kilborn is the ultimate jerk, but she can't see that. And then finally, Mitch convinces her. But you can tell, I don't know. I just think if you have intimate moments like that, you should have known that Craig Kilborn, playing the character of Mark, was an idiot. Or in Wedding Crashers, Bradley Cooper as Zach. Yep. Rachel McAdam, Claire. Yeah. She's a very intelligent woman, you can tell in this film, right? Mm-hmm. And she doesn't know that Zach's a dick? Because Zach does numerous dicky things in the film right in front of Claire before.
He also talks about saving the seals and stuff like that, so I think he plays up the other angle of it too.
And the whiskers, and the oil's flapping. He's
maybe she kind of looks the other way on the bad stuff. Maybe she likes the bad boy.
And maybe it's just the Wilson brothers aren't having a good time with women. Because it's in both situations, it's them who are having to fight off these bad guys.
Well, look. I mean, again, okay, bring in the serious Lester music now, but it's exactly what's going on in the United States because each side thinks they're right.
Serious Lester.
Right? I mean, really.
So are you saying that Trump's America?
Why are you laughing, Puff? I don't think that's all that funny.
In every movie that we watched in the 90s and early 2000s.
I don't know if that's the connection.
Well, look, no, I don't. Look, I'm not saying it's 100% true, but honestly, when you look at what's going on, and Dave Chappelle made this point when he was on Saturday Night Live. Remember how you felt when Trump won in 2016? You know, the other side of it feels the same way now that Biden's won, right? And it's not necessarily right, but
that's with an election. That's with any election, almost half the people are going to be disappointed.
I remember when, for example, when Bush won the second term, people were upset and disappointed, but not like this. Not like when Trump won. It was different for me, you know?
Sure, because the two guys running in that election weren't fanning the flames the way Trump is here. Like no one's ever behaved the way Trump has
exactly.
to, try to just mislead people completely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Billy Zane in Titanic. Also,
you know what? Hold on. Can we just take that segment? We'll make that a Lester and Staub show.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
You clip that one out.
Season 7, episode 1.
The Lester and Staub show. Staub and Lester.
So Billy Zane in Titanic, total, right? And Rose wants no part of him, but yet she's with him until she gets moved back. Now, here's the most interesting thing about this. William Zabka, Puffy's new hero, who plays Johnny in Karate Kid and Cobra Kai, he spent the entire 80s being the biggest boyfriend of them all. William Zabka, in National Lampoon's European Vacation, was the one who broke up with Audrey when she went on vacation, one of the biggest dick moves you could possibly make. In a film called Just One of the Guys, he is a jerk, self-controlling boyfriend of his girlfriend, Deborah.
Yep.
And in Back to School, he is mean and awful to his girlfriend, Valerie, and then beats up Rodney Dangerfield's son.
Nice.
William Zabka.
No respect.
The portrait of bad boyfriend. Also, Puffy, one of our favorite movies until we realized it was completely inappropriate now, 16 Candles.
Yes, very inappropriate.
Probably the movie that has not aged well at all as far as numerous scenes.
John Hughes, a bad man.
Yeah, just so I'm not making this, sexist or reverse sexist, I don't even know anymore. Jake, who is the hunk in 16 Candles, it's his girlfriend, Samantha, who is kind of the jerk, right? No, not Samantha.
Samantha is Molly, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember
her. I can't remember his girlfriend's name.
Yeah.
But she's kind of the jerk. And Jake's the sweet guy who ends up with Molly Ringwald, who is Samantha, right?
Yes.
And Anthony Michael Hall ends up with Jake's kind of snooty girlfriend. Something I had forgotten, by the way. Anthony Michael Hall later would play the boyfriend in Edward Scissorhands. He became the pumped up boyfriend to Kim, who would become Edward Scissorhands' girlfriend later in the movie.
I don't think I saw Edward Scissorhands.
I bring all this up for a reason. When I went down this rabbit hole this morning, I had a one of those. What happens when you have a memory that has been suppressed? I guess it's called a suppressed memory.
Suppressed memory, yeah.
Yes.
Do you guys remember in, I think, season 2, when I talked about Allison Phillips?
Yes,
who was my high school crush.
I remember her.
I manipulated her at the dance, right? I asked her to dance every slow song at the dance. She didn't want to dance with me. I stalked her, essentially. Made sure I knew when the slow song was coming. And I haunted me for much of my life. Sorry, Allison Phillips. Well, all this talk about the bad boyfriends, it popped up in my head that I had a probably more embarrassing experience than the Allison Phillips experience around the same time frame. And I don't even want to name, for reasons that'll become obvious, I don't want to name this girl's name. But same era, grade 9, 10, I've said it before, I was an incredibly geeky guy. I mean, I was kind of jockey, but I looked geeky. And I was not good with the ladies in the grade 9.
You're like Patrick Dempsey in Can't Buy Me Love.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Or maybe John Cusack, Anthony Michael Hall's geeky friend in 16 Candles. Right? Okay. Not as geeky as Anthony Michael Hall, but close.
What about Michael Anthony Hall in Breakfast Club? Is that probably around the same thing?
Well, I thought I was cooler. Like I wore football shirts.
He thought he was cooler too, though.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So
See,
there was another girl before Allison. I can't remember if it was before or after Allison Phillips, right around the same time frame. I'm going to say after, and I'm going to call her Debbie. I've changed her name.
Okay.
And so she was going out. So let's say I'm in grade 10, and she's going out with a grade 12 guy who's like one of the stars of the football team.
Okay.
And I'm kind of obsessed with her. She's in one of my classes. It's incredibly cute. So I think I had gotten word that maybe the guy had dumped her, right? Because he was 2 years older. So high school dance, I go ask Debbie to dance. She kind of knows me just as the guy in the class, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm feeling it. It's like Stairway to Heaven or something. And I just decide, she said yes to dancing with me, so I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to try to make out with her.
Oh, dude.
So I just went, I just went right in, and, she kind of had no choice because I just kind of.
Oh, yes.
So she had no choice. So, we started making out for about, I was going to say, it feels like 10 seconds. Probably it was like five seconds.
So you didn't get the pullback. She was into it.
She was into it reluctantly.
In the 80s, it's
and that's why
it's a bit different.
I want to make sure to clarify. I'm very sorry for my action. So she pulled away after, let's say, 5 seconds, and I could tell by the look in her eye.
Oh, that's terrible.
It had not been particularly well received. So I had the weekend, dances were always Friday night. I had the weekend to stew over it. And I see her in the hallway on Monday morning.
How did this happen? Were you guys hearing that?
No, we lost you and it went to your picture.
It was Siri. Like Siri just started talking to me, and as soon as she starts talking, you guys disappear. And
maybe she's trying to tell you not to tell the story.
Self-censorship. Yeah, it was getting to that part.
She was an attorney. Call an attorney, James.
Jimmy,
you committed a crime.
This is grade 10 innocence. That was it was just a kiss. I have no problem with this. So I said, Debbie, I'm really sorry about kissing you at the dance. And she said, oh, no problem. She was very polite about it, right?
Oh, that's great.
And that was that.
What happened again?
Oh,
but years go by, and I heard that Debbie's boyfriend, the guy, killed a guy.
What?
Oh,
well, got away with it.
It was a different James D.
Yeah, this was.
He just got the wrong guy.
Shaw.
Back then, it would have been Jamie.
Dave Shaw, my Jamaican buddy.
Yep.
Like, we're out at the bar one night when now we're like 20, 21 or something like that. And he goes, hey, remember that girl you like, Debbie? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, remember her boyfriend? And I go, he killed a guy.
Wow.
So end of the story, Debbie and I reconnected at a New Year's party, not reconnected, like hooked up.
Mm-hmm.
But we actually hung out at a New Year's party when we were about 23, I think. And then I went back to the place and we had a discussion, and we were all good. And she's turned out to be a wonderful person. Scars are okay. All right. So
you know what? When you tell that story, you remind me of a situation that you got to resolve your situation. My first kiss with a girl was not very good at all, and I would just like to say that she's listening. Erin, I'm very sorry.
Maybe we should all air our apologies.
I had consensual kisses throughout my life.
Oh, listen, I'm not saying it wasn't consensual.
I have nothing to worry about.
It was consensual. It was.
I don't have a host of Deborahs waiting to get me, Matt Lauer.
That's not fair. That is
Matt
not
fair.
Should we check the statute of limitations on these things before we post this podcast?
You're equating to it's apples and oranges. A grade 10 kid going in for a kiss. And, you know, it's not like
You're lucky it was the 80s, buddy. Times have changed.
All I will say of my experience is that I was not ready. You know, I was going out with this girl and I was just like green.
Well, dude, I remember I think I told it in season 1 or 2 as well, the grade 7 spin the bottle party where I thought necking was kissing the girl's neck. Remember that one?
In fairness, a logical leap to make at that age.
Let me ask you something. Jimmy. This is like for me. I know
Cheryl Hamill. Sorry.
At that time in my life, I was honestly all just playing the saxophone and being in music and whatever. That's what I was doing. Right. Do you think that if you had better experiences with girls in high school, it would have derailed your career? You would be as successful as you are now as a writer, as a broadcaster? No, I'm dead serious.
Do you think if I was, why? Because I would have been too...
You would have been a Mac daddy.
James, shouldn't you be studying your journalism? Shouldn't you be studying your journalism class? No, Mom, I got 4 broads over.
Well, no, look, I'm not saying it would have happened. I'm just look. I think it's a general question. I don't think it's unreasonable.
Maybe I would
like our podcast listeners to write in and say, back me up on this. I don't think what I asked was unreasonable.
No, I think it's fair.
Girls lead to drugs.
Yeah.
I'd like to say thank you very much for having me on this pod. This is clearly my last season. It's over. I don't know what else to say.
All you need, now that we're going to be, I should announce too that this podcast is going to be available on the YouTube. We're going to put our podcast as part of our rebranding. We're going to put it on the YouTube. And
so the court will be able to play your testimony from a video.
You can watch all of us. Hey, look, I wasn't going to say it. But I'm going to say it now.
It's good to get it off your chest.
Because you
guys
are
bearing it all.
Because you guys berated me. When we went for coffee, when we were 23, she told me, you know what? I kind of had a little crush on you, where you were like the geeky guy I liked. So there.
Okay, hold on. Did you just reveal her full name?
Beep that out. You gotta beep that out.
We'll do some creative editing.
Oh, so good.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, man. That's what BetSafe.net wants right there.
Damn it.
But I will give you credit, Jimmy. You remember full names like nobody's business with your past romances.
Well, look, because I didn't have that many, right? So they're all, I spent a lot of nights lying in bed thinking about them all. After you get married.
It means something to you, though. They mean something to you in your history.
Brooksy and I go through it all the time because Brooksy had this guy named who she always remembered because his breath smelled like Hubba Bubba because he always chewed Hubba Bubba. She like necked with him in like grade 6 or whatever. She always talks about him. He was the one that got away from Brooksy.
I worked at a Hubba Bubba factory. Your clothes smell like gum all the time afterwards. It was awful.
Really?
Is there a chance that is Hubba Bubba boy?
What's the statute of limitations on that?
So as part of our BetSafe.net rebranding, we're going to do a new segment, and it's going to be called, I don't know. We'll probably change it every week because that's what we do. But Puffy's Props. Puffy's Props. We were looking for alliteration. Yeah. We found it. So Puffy's going to give us props every week. Sometimes we'll just do silly stuff, like the chances of perhaps, Lester getting back together with Brandy, or, if Brooksy ever smartens up and leaves me reunited with in grade 10. We thought the NFC and AFC championship games are coming up this weekend. So why don't we start with a legitimate Puffy prop for this weekend?
So I'm going to ask you guys, who's going to throw more touchdown passes this weekend? The combination of Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, or Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes?
Okay, that's very straight. Now that's interesting. As we tape this, we should just tell everybody it's Tuesday afternoon. It'll probably be up Thursday. So Pat Mahomes is questionable with the concussion. We think he'll play, right? But we
I
don't
would
know.
assume he's going to play. Yeah.
We're not neurologists.
No, I've
Brady-
just played one on TV.
Touchdown passes: Brady and Rodgers, Mahomes and Josh Allen.
So now, to be clear, Mahomes, if he doesn't play, you don't get the sub as backup in
You would
there,
get
right?
0. Yeah, you would get 0.
Oh, and I'm going to take the old guys then.
I think
I am
the better plays Brady and Rodgers in general. They're probably defense wise, they're up against a little less. Even if Mahomes is in there, I think the Bills will make things a little more difficult for him. I think that's.
Did you have a line on this, Puffy, or is it just even?
Well, because I would say that the favorites would be the young guys, but because of Mahomes not being questionable, I'd say it'd probably be even.
But these are touchdown passes, you're saying, right?
Touchdown passes, yeah.
Yeah, because either Mahomes or Allen can also run one in. So,
For sure.
But that takes a pass off the board, though.
Brady and Rodgers, they're pretty good around the goal line too.
That was a pretty cool moment with Brady and Drew Brees the other night, eh? With the kids on the field after the game.
Yeah, that was
Did you see that? Like, I mean, there's a lot of differences between the average person and a professional quarterback.
I know what you're going to say.
But
I thought the same thing.
The kid flips him a ball, and he just kind of turns around, flings it right in the corner of the end zone, like
with
perfect pass.
With one of Brees' kids
with the other kid just standing there.
Yeah, perfect.
And the kid made
This should be a section on the podcast where Puffy fawns over another sports child.
Oh,
is that the best throw of Brady's career? Yes or no?
It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable.
Crazy.
Would you take Drew Brees' kid right now or Tiger Woods to have the more successful professional career?
Charlie.
Tiger Woods, Charlie.
You mean?
Although I'm a little concerned about Charlie now after watching the Tiger docs.
So I watched it the other night. We got to go, by the way. We said we keep it short because it's just a teaser. No, it's just like the whole Earl-Tiger relationship. And now to look at Tiger and Charlie. And Charlie's going to watch this at some point, whether he's with Tiger or I don't know how well he's been protected from all of Tiger's stories, but he's going to see it all, right?
Oh, yeah.
This podcast?
Hopefully.
He'll be crushed.
Tiger, I'll go on your bag. I mean, Charlie, I'll work your bag, no problem.
Charlie be like, man, Jimmy was a real geek in high school. I am not going to be like that.
Maybe rephrase that, eh, Puff?
I think he's got other people that can work his.
I'll carry your bag.
That'll be Puffy, though. Have you guys watched the Tiger Woods thing? Stop and
Not yet.
I've seen part 1. I want to see part 2. I still haven't seen part 2. That's good.
Puffy, I keep thinking that's you at what's that golf course you play with your boys?
What?
What's the little par 3 in the city?
Dentonia.
I started chuckling to myself that Buffy's got the motorhome parked at Dentonia.
Smoking. Hey, work on your chips.
That's an inside joke for anyone who's seen the Tiger Woods documentary. But
oh my God.
Austin Barrett, you guys play a few more holes. Daddy be in the motorhome.
My favorite guy is Earl's buddy who's hanging around Tiger.
He came clean though, hard, right?
Whoa, clean as a whistle.
You know what the guys? The thing I like about this doc, it's not perfect. It's it's like sort of a 7 out of 10. It's not like maybe the Jordan doc or whatever. But what I like about what they did is they got people. Obviously, Tiger would have told all those people not to cooperate with the doc. But the people that did cooperate, the one Puffy's talking about, Earl Wood's friend, who was one of Tiger's first pros. They used to play all the time when Tiger was a kid. Steve Williams, Tiger's caddy, who's now since separated and don't speak. Tiger's first girlfriend, who added a lot of insight, I thought.
Yeah, she was great.
But so you have all these people who in the end were cut out of Tiger's life completely, scorned in a way, right?
Which is unbelievable.
But none of them really, they're not. And of course the girlfriend, what's her name?
Rachel. You could tell.
Yeah, Rachel, you could tell. But none of them really diss on Tiger. They're not there to get even.
No.
In fact, most of the stuff they say is quite complimentary. It just sort of helps explain Tiger, I think, more than anything else. So I thought that was a good way to do the doc, that, you know, you're getting these people, but it's not going to be an airing of grievances. It's just going to be a, you know, try to explain. And I didn't learn a lot, but I learned a little bit, I think, about what
I learned a ton. I thought they filled in a lot of holes.
Anyway, Puffy's props, betsafe.net. We will. Did you guys, Stoff? You took the old guys. Lester, you taking the old guys?
I'm actually going to take the young guns. I have a feeling.
Boy.
Yeah.
And Puffy, it is your prop. What are you taking?
I am going with the old guys.
Okay. So, like I said, condensed version of the pod. Even though we probably did end up going for 35 minutes, didn't we, Stoff? After we said we do 20.
Yep.
Sorry about that, buddy. I'm like, Stoff, we'll just rip off 15 minutes. You can put it up like within an hour. We will be every Thursday, we hope. A new pod will be up weekly, part of our rebranding, betsafe.net. You'll be able to watch it on the YouTube. I know it's not the YouTube, by the way. So last time I was calling like the Twitter, and somebody actually wrote me and said, you know, it's not the Twitter. Yes, I know, you idiots.
I think it's RedTube.
No, it's not going to be on RedTube. It's going to be on YouTube.
Nope. Story time with James Duffy.
19 plus only.
Funny thing, Puffy. When I was having this tangent thought about boyfriends in movies, and why are they always like, why did these nice girls end up with them in the first place? I Google searched boyfriend movie, and what came up was not what I was thinking.
You have to be very careful with these searches.
Brooks, you better not go through that history.
That's going to be.
I certainly hope you didn't search on your work phone.
We'll be up every week, and betsafe.net is along for the ride. Puffy will have props for us every week. We'll do all the regular segments. We're hopefully going to have a new theme by the genius Lester McLean.
You have a new thing, yes.
He's figuring out how to work betsafe.net into his lyrics. We will. I got a new betsafe.net logo that we can somehow incorporate into our logo stuff. If Stoff is good at photoshopping, sure. Our graphics department will work on that. That would be Stoff. Music department, graphics department, gambling department, questionable actions toward girls in grade 10 department. All four corners of the screen. Thanks for listening to the Rubber Boots Pod. We look forward to seeing you next Thursday.
Hey, how are you? I got a question that I really want to ask you. Wait, don't hang up. I need to know, so I'm gonna try and push my luck. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, blue, black, or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? And do you like the dunk tank at the fair? I know it's a little strange, my obsession with your choice of footwear in the rain. I know that you're on TV, but I need you to put your boots up on the desk for me. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, blue, black, or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? And do you like the dunk tank at the fair? This is the part they call the bridge. A bridge has water under it. With rubber boots you can wade in the water. Just don't fall in. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, blue, black, or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? And do you like a dunk tank at the fair? bed. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? No, seriously. Are you wearing your rubber boots? Don't hang up. Please. Somebody. Hey? Hey? Anyone?